Thank you for joining me for practice. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. And in the description is a link to the Patreon account. If you'd like to offer a donation for these classes, it's greatly appreciated. Namaste. Okay, so move the flesh from your sit bones, sit tall, close your eyes. And take a moment to really anchor into the earth, allow the crown of your head to lift, and create space in the spine. So right away we have a shift in our posture, which shifts the mind and shifts the breath. And as we stand tall in this present moment, or sit tall in this present moment, I'm going to feel all the life force energy moving effortlessly through the body. And then begin to watch the breath come in and go out with ease and grace. And we want to create a smooth quality to the breath so that the inhale flows into the exhale, that flows into the inhale. Really eliminating any catches or jumps, as well as any pauses at the top and bottom of the breath. And the breath is one of the most impactful ways to affect the mind, as they are reflections of one another. So this smooth, stable breath creates that smooth, stable condition for the mind. And then add in your ujjayi sound, that ocean wave or whisper type sound to the breath. And grow the breath to its depth. And we're going to start by breathing into the chest first today, then into the rib cage, then down into the belly. Let it touch the pelvic floor. Exhale, engage or lift the pelvic floor, draw the navel in and up. Rib cage comes closer together and the chest softens, breath leaves the nostrils. So I've been listening recently to my teacher, and he was mentioning this idea that the inhalation is really used to be called inspiration. And that when we have those pauses at the bottom of the breath, there's that little bit of hesitation before we inhale again. And that as we begin to reduce some of that hesitation, it's drawing in that inspiration a little bit more quickly, a little more fluidly. That the inspiration for living is expressed in many ways in a stable and expansive inhale breath. So we're going to be doing some work with the inhale breath today in our practice, as well as opening up the area of the body that allows and facilitates a greater inhale. And we'll take 2 more full, complete rounds here. And then bring your hands together in front of your heart. Let your thumbs touch your sternum. Bow your head. We'll set that as the intention for the practice. And if there's anything in your life right now that's asking for that inspiration, please bring that into your intention, making it more personal. And place this here in your heart, surrounding it with unconditional love and compassion. We'll begin with the chant of Om 3 times. Take a deep inhale in. And then a long exhale out, and really purge the old air. They used to call this expiration. Another deep inhale in. Just lower your chin to your chest. Let those vibrations move through you as you very slowly open your eyes and bring yourself back into the room. Inhale, reach the arms out wide, lift and lengthen through your core. Interlace your fingers and then turn your palms up and really stretch the side bodies. Lift your shoulders up by your ears for just a moment so that you get that extra extension, and then keep all that length in your torso and just lower the shoulder heads back down into their socket. And now find that full breath again. Chest, ribs, belly on inhalation, belly, ribs, chest on exhalation. Really feel the breath touch the pelvic floor, and then the pelvic floor begins the exhalation. Fill both the front side and the back side of the lungs. So we tend to think more forward, more on the front side, what's coming at us in the future. But we want to fill the back body. One more breath here. Now let your head rest on your right arm, lean to your right side. Stay anchored through both sit bones. And just feel that left lateral really begin to open. Create some space there, bow the rib cage a little bit, and breathe into it. You might find that you lift a little as you inhale. You might lower slightly as you exhale. But the base of the body stays rooted and grounded. Inhale, come back to center. Head rests on your left arm and we'll float to the left side. And now that right side body gets a nice deep stretch. Breathe into it. Remember to make that almost like circular breathing. The inhale, flow right into the exhale. Flowing right into the inhale. Keep drawing the navel slightly in and up to support the lower back. One more here. And then inhale, come back to center, and then just slowly lower your arms down and kind of feel as if they're moving at their own pace. You're gonna get some of that blood to flow back down towards the fingertips. And just enjoy that for a moment. Place your fingertips into the mat, reaching them as far away from you as possible. Not really doing much, but you can feel that little bit of extra stretch along the arms. One more here. Good, and then place your hands on your knees. If your sit bones are propped, you can move the prop out of the way. And then inhale, dip your heart forward, bend your elbows. Exhale, concave the spine, pull the navel in and back, and stretch in the back of the heart. Again, inhale, come forward, heart dips, elbows are pointing up. Exhale, hold the navel deeply towards the back body and stretch into the back of the heart. So we'll keep going, inhaling, exhaling here. And you begin to sense that some of the ability for the upper back to open has to do with the core stability. So the more anchored we are, the more stable the body feels, the more willing it is to open. Notice where you're tight. A lot of times we get tight right in the chest, the connection point to the pectoralis major. Last one here. We'll do one more coming forward. One more going back. And then sit tall for a minute and just feel. You can turn the palms up. Again, that elongated spine. If you'd like, you can momentarily close the eyes. Good. And then we'll come into tabletop position. So scoot back on your mat a little bit so you're not right near the front. Typically we do go to the front, but in this case we need to go back because we're going to move forward a little bit here. So inhale, lift the heart, lift the sit bones, look up. Exhale, draw the navel back to the spine, round the back, take the sit bones to the heels, child's pose. Now reach your arms as far forward as they'll go, and you're going to scoop your nose, chest, chin across the mat. Inhale into low cobra, so that means the low ribs stay on the floor, elbows and shoulders pull back. Exhale into tabletop position, navel to spine, and into child's pose. Good. Repeat that again. Inhale, tabletop, heart lift, sit bones lift. Exhale, round the back. Take the navel in and up as you move into child's pose. Reach your arms forward, scoop your nose, chest, chin across the mat. Inhale and extend into that low cobra. Exhale, navel up and back, child's pose. Again, inhale, tabletop, heart lift, sit bones lift. Exhale, round the back, sit bones to heels. Reach the arms forward. Inhale, scoop your nose, chest, chin across the earth. Inhaling into cobra, a little bit higher this time. And exhale, navel up and back, child's pose. We've got one more like this, please. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, scoop through. Keep the elbows tight into your side as you come forward and up. A little bit higher, more to high cobra now. And exhale to child's pose. And then just stay in child's pose for a moment. Come up onto your fingertips. Let your heart dip through your shoulders. Tips of the shoulder blades move down your back. And then back into tabletop position. Now we're going to bring our elbows down into our mat. And come a little closer towards the front of the mat this time. Wrap your hands around the middle part of the arm. Interlace your fingers and either press the forearm down or spread the palms wide with the forearms parallel. Tuck your back toes under. Reach your sit bones up and away and find your dolphin variation of down dog. So forearm down dog, will treat it the same. Bend the right knee, press the left heel down. And bend the left knee and press the right heel down. And just keep going back and forth, one side and then the other. Notice any differences. Keep reaching those sit bones up and away to elongate the back of the legs. Good, one more here. And then stay for a moment with the feet hip distance apart, toes turned in slightly, heels out. Roll your inner thighs in and back and feel as if your hips are moving away from the crown of your head. Elongating your spine, head and neck is relaxed. Press through the forearms, especially the web of the index and thumb. Again, breathe into the full spine here and try to make that breath as smooth as possible. Each exhalation takes the navel deeply in and up under the rib cage for a slight mula and uddiyana bandha. And one more here. And then bring your knees to the floor. We're going to rest in child's pose, but take embryo. So back of the hands toward the heels, round the upper back. Just let the shoulders go. Let everything relax. Really give in to gravity. Now breathe into the full spine. One more. Good, hands under the shoulders, roll up into a seated position, and then point your fingertips behind you. Have your knees and feet together as you press down into the hands, stretch into the heart, and just open up. Lift the sternum. Feel that front body release tension that may have built up over time, maybe through posture. Feel the inspiration coming into the chest. That willingness to participate, to take life in. One more here. Good, and then roll off the fingertips, pulling your sternum forward. Sit tall for just a moment. Absorb the tailbone into the body, lift the lower belly, pull the low ribs in slightly, and see how straight you can feel that your spine is. All right, we're gonna tuck our back toes under, come into a closed squat, so knees and feet are together. And even if the heels don't touch, that's okay. Just feel as if they're moving down in that way. And if you can balance, you can bring your hands into prayer. If not, leave your fingertips on the floor. Keep squeezing the knees toward the midline so you feel a nice, stable, grounding connection to the core. Lower those heels as best you can, stretching into the calves. And the calf muscle, there's a muscle down in that area called the soleus that has a pumping action corresponding to the heart. So we want to free up any tension that we have here in the calves to help create that greater blood flow. And bring your hands down, straighten your legs. You can open your feet hip distance apart if you'd like and keep a little micro bend in your knee. You can either have your hands on your shins, or if you like, you can hook the index middle thumb around your big toe. Inhale, pull away and create monkey pose. So hands either pressing into the shins or you're holding onto the toes and sending that sternum away from the pubic bone. Exhale, draw the navel in and up, forward fold through the legs. Repeat it again. Inhale, extend in whatever way you're doing it. Exhale, fold. Navel hugs the back body, head and neck releases. Good, keep going. Inhaling and exhaling. And see how much space you can create in the spine on your inspiration. How much can you let go on your expiration? Draw the shoulder blades down the back. So we're really trying to counter some of that rounding in the thoracic curve. Two more. When you finish the last one, you can hold on either to the back of the calves or continue to grip the toes, and you're going to let the forward fold deepen. Now, we have a tendency to really sink in our heels, so can you come forward into the balls of the feet, letting the hips really lift high? Micro bend in the knee is perfectly fine. Take the shoulders a little bit further away from your ears, engaging the tips of the shoulder blades down your back. Now, in your navel, find that mula and uddiyana bandha, the lifting of the pelvic floor and core in and up. And then through that core stability, notice the upper body really soften and release. And it almost feels like you could tip forward. That's how deep into the forward fold you allow yourself to go. 2 more breaths here. Good, and then extend into monkey pose one more time. So really feel that heart open. Keep that firm as you bring your hands to your hips and just hover halfway. Press down deeply into the feet, countering gravity, crown away from hips. And then squeeze your elbows behind you, scoop your heart as you rise the rest of the way up and find Samastiti, standing mountain pose, for just a moment. And you can either have a soft gaze at the horizon line, or you can close your eyes if you prefer. And feel the blood flowing through the body, prana moving. Okay, we're going to stay at the back of our mats for Pranavayu sun salutations. So hands together in front of the heart. Have your feet hip distance apart or even slightly wider. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, sink into chair, or if you can, head all the way to squat with the heels down. Inhale, come into tabletop position. Lift the heart, lift the sit bones, look up. Exhale, tuck the toes, find downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward to the fingertips, spin the back foot flat, heel to heel alignment, bend the front knee and scoop forward and up as you inhale into warrior one. Straighten the front leg, lengthen over that leg, so press the heel from the fingertips as you come all the way down. Inhale, pivot on the ball of the back foot, bend the front knee, high lunge position, fingers in a finger stand, and exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're going to modify the first vinyasa, so inhale to plank position, bring your knees to the floor, lift your toes behind you, squeeze your elbows tight, modified chaturanga, tops of the feet ground. Inhale, elbows and shoulders pull back for cobra, and exhale to downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward to the fingertips, spin the back foot flat, front knee bent, hips squared, come forward and up. Warrior one. Exhale, straighten, fold over that leg, really lengthen, and then inhale, pivot, high lunge, heart is forward, exhale, downward facing dog. So we'll take 5 full breaths here in down dog, and we're going to find those same alignment principles we did with dolphin. So toes in slightly, heels out, roll inner thighs in and back. Engage the quads. You want to use those big muscles of the legs. Let the upper body soften. Roll shoulder heads away from the ears. Hug inner elbows toward one another. Ground through the hands. Deep, complete Ujjayi breaths. Navel in and up on exhalation. Good. One more. Inhale, bring your knees to the floor. Heart lift, sit bones lift, tabletop. And then exhale, you're walking back to squat. So you can stay on the balls of the feet if you can. Hands together in prayer like we did a moment ago. Inhale, straighten your legs, extend all the way up. Make sure your feet are parallel. Exhale, forward fold. Hook the index, middle thumb around your big toe or hands on shins. Inhale, pull away, create that length. Exhale, forward fold, soften into it. Inhale, bend your knees deeply. Come into chair, and we'll stay for exhale, sink even deeper like we're moving towards squat. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing, and exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, chair or squat. Inhale to tabletop, spread the collarbones wide. Exhale, down dog. Right leg through, warrior one. Inhale, forward and up. Straighten the front leg. Forward fold over that leg, really lengthen. Inhale, pivot for high lunge. And exhale, down dog. Inhale to plank. Leave knees lifted if you can, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale to down dog. Left leg forward, warrior one. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, straighten, fold over that leg. Inhale, pivot, high lunge. And exhale, downward facing dog, 5 full breaths. And I realize I forgot pyramid on the other side, so we're going to do one more round after this anyway, just to make sure we're balanced. But find your deep Ujjayi breathing here. Hollow out that belly on exhalation. Good, inhale, knees to floor, heart lift, sit bones lift. Exhale, walk back to squat. Bring your hands into prayer. Inhale, come up to standing. Elongate the spine, feet are parallel. Exhale, forward fold. Hook the index, middle thumb around your big toes. Inhale, pull away, extend. Exhale, navel in, fold. Inhale, lean back to chair. Stay for exhalation, sink deeper. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands to heart. One more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, chair or squat. Inhale, tabletop. Extend the heart. Exhale, down dog. Right leg forward, warrior one. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, straighten. Fold over that leg. Elongate. Inhale, pivot for high lunge. And exhale, down dog. Good. Inhale to plank. Squeeze elbows tight, chaturanga. Inhale into cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale to down dog, left leg through. Warrior one on this side. Inhale, reach. Exhale, straighten. Fold over that leg. Inhale, pivot, high lunge. Exhale, down dog, 5 full breaths. So we're generating some heat. Kind of move that heat through the body by deepening the breath. Good, last one. Inhale, heart lift, sit bones lift. Exhale, walk back to that squat, hands in prayer. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Elongate, exhale, fold. Hook the index, middle thumb around your big toes. Inhale, extend. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Stay and sink. Inhale, rise up, full breath. And exhale, hands to the heart or by your side, whatever feels more comfortable for you. And again, soft gaze at the horizon, or you can close your eyes. Breathe here. So feel that heat, send it more deeply through the body. Slow the breath back down and regulate it so that the prana is flowing undisturbed. Inspiration, right into expiration. One more. Okay, so if you need a block for a pyramid, you may want to have your blocks on either side of your mat about midway through. We'll stay here at the back of the mat. And we're going to turn our left toes out to a slight angle. Step the right foot forward to a comfortable distance. Bring the hands onto the sacrum to start, keeping the chest nice and open. Inhale, extend through the heart. Exhale, just come halfway. You can even feel some of the strength of the back muscles behind your hands as you do this. Inhale, press into the feet. Come back up, lift the heart, slight back bend. Exhale, navel contracts. Again, coming halfway, so you can get a little longer, crown away from tail. Inhale, come up. Exhale, halfway. Good. Inhale, bring both arms up. And now exhale, come halfway. Now notice all the strength it takes to hold the body against gravity. We're going to bring either our left hand down on the floor or block under our shoulder, or on the floor or block to the outside of the left foot. Place the right hand flat on the sacrum now. Rotate the navel to the right. Make sure the hips feel stable. So if you need to lean in your front foot or back foot to stabilize them, please do. As the navel rotates to the right, reach the right arm up in the air. Now, traditionally, gaze is up at the hand. If that bothers your neck, just gaze neutral at the horizon line. But keep pressing into the feet. Squeeze the inner thighs toward the midline. Especially fine from the pelvic floor down through the inner thighs to the root of the big toe. Send your sternum away from your hips, so free up the heart. Couple more breaths. One more. And gently release. Bring your hands to your hips, squeeze your elbows tight, scoop your heart, come back up, and then gently step your front leg back. Find that neutral position, standing mountain pose at the back of your mats. Breathe here. Stabilize the prana, so you want that breath to flow freely. And turn the right toes out to a slight angle, and step your left foot forward to the fingertips, or sorry, to the middle of the mat. So you're at about 2.5 feet. Hands onto the sacrum again. Inhale, feel that back bend, so open up the heart and chest. Exhale now, just come halfway down. Inhale, press into the feet to come up, inhaling, letting the lightness in the lungs really lift the body. Exhale, come down halfway. Chin in slightly, back of the neck long. Inhale one more time. Exhale. Navel in. Inhale the arms all the way up. And exhale, lengthen as much as you can over that front leg. Feel all that work. Now that's what you're going to have to do in the twist. Either right hand goes down on the floor on the block or to the outside of your left foot, floor or block. You can move that block in any position. Right hand down, left hand to sacrum. Feel that those hips are level. So shift forward and back till you get that nice position. Squeeze the inner thighs. And lift the left arm up if it's comfortable. You can always keep the hand on the sacrum if it's not. Now, as you stabilize that base of the body, see if you can find more room in the upper body. Try your best to breathe smooth and even. One more here. And gently release. Bring your hands to your hips. Squeeze your elbows tight. Scoop your heart as you rise. And then step that front foot back. Come into standing mountain pose at the back of your mat and just feel. So soft gaze. Soft, gentle face. Even if there was some efforting there, try to make the features pleasant, content. All right, if your blocks were on your mat, you could just kind of clear them off to the side. And we'll stay here at the back of our mats for our vinyasa. So inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose. Hands on the shin or floor, flat back. And then this time we'll just walk our hands forward into plank position. Hold plank for a moment. We're going to take an extra breath here. Contract your abdomen towards your spine. And on your next exhale, bring your knees to the floor. Keep them lifted for chaturanga, squeezing those elbows tight into your side. Inhale. If the knees are down, come into cobra. If they were up, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Good. So come onto the balls of your feet. Lift your heels as high as you can. Reach your right leg up in the air. Exhale the left heel down. Inhale the right leg as high as you can, and really reach out through the ball of the foot and spread the toes. Now, as you exhale, bend your knee, draw the heel towards the glute. Inhale, extend the leg long again. Keep going. Exhale, bend the knee. Tailbone absorbs in, lower belly lifts. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. Try to keep your hands and chest square. And then extend that right leg long and reach out through the ball of the foot. Now swing that knee into your chest and lunge that foot forward to the fingertips. We're taking a long stance here. So heel to arch alignment, about 4.5 feet. Come up through warrior one, open hip and shoulder to the left for warrior two. So as you bend more deeply into that front knee, softening into the hips, keep a little lift in your pelvic floor so there's some buoyancy there. Inhale the arms long. Exhale, take the right forearm down to the thigh. Now we're going to inhale, sweep the left arm forward and up, all the way around, and repeat it again. Exhaling, inhale forward and up. Exhaling as you come down. Inhale forward and up. And one more. Inhale forward and up, and as you get to the top now, you're going to stay in that extended state. Now reach into that front knee a little bit more. Make sure it's in alignment with the ankle. So you're going down into the hips, but now really anchor to the outside edge of your back foot. Navel rotates to the left. Lean back with your chest. If that forearm stays on the thigh, make sure you're not sinking in the bottom shoulder. If you want to go deeper, grab onto the ankle with the hand. Breathing here. Feel that extension along the left side body as well as the depth created for the hips. Inhale, lift your left arm all the way up, press into the feet, come into reverse triangle, backhand to thigh, extend through the right side, opening up that right arm up and over the head. Now go back into the side angle, whatever depth is possible for you. Left arm's going to be straight up in the air. If you're capable, we'll move into the bind. So we'll take the right arm under the leg. Left arm comes around, and you're going to bind here, leaning back with your chest. Left shoulder pulls back. Breathe deeply. Contract the abdomen. One more. And gently release. Place that left hand down, straighten the front leg. Left arm reaches up for triangle pose. If having the hand on the floor is too intense, bring the hand to the shin, maybe to the ankle, whatever's easier for you. So we're going to stay in triangle, press into the big toe side of your front foot, reach to the outside edge of the back foot, and again, feel your strength coming from your pelvic floor down through your legs. Leaning back with the heart. Feel the navel rotate to the left. 2 more breaths. Good, and then we're going to bring our fingertips to the floor. You're going to pivot on the ball of the back foot for high lunge for just a moment. So there's a lot of stretching of the body there, so take a moment to let that all settle. And then extend that right leg all the way up in the air. Reach out through the ball of the foot, spread the toes just like you did a moment ago. Lower your left heel down. And then find downward facing dog. Take a moment here in down dog. Let it all settle. Bring your feet together. Come onto the balls of the feet. Reach the left leg up in the air. Exhale the right heel down. Inhale the left leg as high as you can. And now really reach out through that ball of the foot. Spread the toes. Create as much space as you can. Exhale now. Bend your knee. Draw your heel to your glute. Tailbone absorbs in. Lower belly lifts. Inhale, reach away. And exhale, bend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. 2 more with your breath, please. Inhale, reach away and stay. Really feel that spaciousness there. And then you're going to bring that left knee and swing it deeply into your chest. Lunge that foot forward to the fingertips. Line the front heel with the arch of the back foot. You keep this nice long stance here. We're going to come up through warrior one, open hip and shoulder to the right, and find warrior two. Now, challenge that front knee. Go down into it a little bit more. Really make sure that knee is moving towards the pinky toe side of your foot and press deeply into the feet. That's your grounding point here. So inhale, extend through the heart. Exhale, take the left forearm down, bring the right arm up and over the head. Inhale here. We're going to do that little bit of a rotation again. So exhale the arm back. Inhale, scoop it forward and up. Exhale it back. Inhale forward. One more. And then on the last one, you're going to stay. So we'll keep that top arm over the head, press the front shin bone away from the back heel, stay deep in the hips, but also stable. So you're lifting the pelvic floor. Keep that anchoring through that bottom forearm space in the left shoulder, navel rotating to the right. If you want to go deeper, go ahead and take that hand down to the ankle. Arm presses into leg, leg presses into arm. So traditionally gaze is up at the inner arm, but if it bothers your neck, just keep it neutral at the side wall. Keep sending energy back into that outer back heel. 2 more. Now inhale, reach up with that right arm. We're going to reverse triangle it for just a moment. Backhand to thigh, lift the left arm up. And now we're going to go back into that side angle, and if you can, you're going to bind. So left arm goes under the leg, right hand comes around, back of the hand either on the sacrum or you're grabbing the fingertips. Breathe deeply here. Lean back with your chest. Challenge that front knee. One more. Now you're going to gently release, place that left hand down, right arm up, straighten the front leg, and come right into triangle. If it's too intense to have the hand on the floor, bring the hand to the shin or ankle, wherever it's most comfortable. Find that connection to your pelvic floor again. So as you strengthen the legs, you might even feel a lift or lightness through the chest and upper body. Navel rotates to the right. Again, traditionally gaze is up at the hand, but you can keep the neck neutral. Just listen to your spine, listen to your neck. Good, one more here. And now we're all spread out. So bring your fingertips to the floor, pivot on the ball of the back foot, come into high lunge for just a moment. Find the stability of high lunge. And then shift back to down dog. And we'll anchor in down dog as well. Good. Remember your alignment principles. Toes in slightly. Lift the hips. Let the prana settle first. And then inhale to plank position. Chaturanga your way. Knees lowered or lifted. Inhale into cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Now we're going to walk our hands back to our feet nice and slow, so maybe 6 inches at a time. Find the grounding in the feet as you move the weight back into the legs. You might notice a little bit more flexibility than when we first started. And part of the warmth in the body is the benefit of increasing that. And then interlace your fingers behind your back. Yoga mudra. Pull the knuckles to lift the sternum and come all the way up into standing. And we're going to keep our hands into yoga mudra here. Make sure you get a nice deep bind. And then bring your hands to your right waist. Pull your right elbow back. And now tilt your right ear to your right shoulder. So feel the navel hug the back body. Nice stable spine. This beautiful stretch for those shoulders. Good, yoga mudra again behind the back. Let the sternum lift, let the shoulders stretch. And then take the hands to the left waist. Pull your left elbow back. And now tilt your left ear to your left shoulder. Lengthen your tailbone, lift your lower belly. Good, and then gently release. One more time, Yoga Mudra behind the back, open the chest, and then just let go. And swing the arms forward and back. Now, as you swing forward and back, try not to puff the low ribs out. Keep the base of the body stable and just let the arms swing from their joints. So really great way to bring some flexibility into this area of the body. And every once in a while, you can alternate here by making a pumping action with your fists and bending your elbows. Swing, pump, swing, and pump. Keep going. So this just kind of, you can feel it spreads the chest just a little bit more. And all that work you're doing to open everything up is just allowing this to move fluid through that area of the body, clean and clear it out, whatever's stuck there. And then full arm circles all the way around and back. All right, and then one more, we'll do Dance of Shiva arms. So we'll bring the right hand as if you had a tea light candle sitting inside of it. And you would want that flame to continue to point up. You're gonna bring the hand, the outer edge of the hand in towards your heart. Then you're gonna take it around, but you don't wanna burn your armpits. You're gonna take it around underneath your armpit. Then you're gonna keep it flat, sweep it over your head like a snake, and then slowly circle it all the way around again. So outer hand comes into the heart. Take it back behind your armpit, S it or swing it all the way over the head, and bring it back into the heart. So once you get the action of this movement with the arm, then you can really start to let it swing. So into the heart, back around, up and over. Into the heart, back around, up and over. And then just start to move a little bit more quickly, letting momentum take you. And you're moving the shoulder joint in so many different directions with this. It's just really good for the health of the joint. Again, we get so tight up here. All right, and then we'll let that go. We'll do the other side. So left hand has a tea light candle. Bring the outside edge of your left hand into your heart. Scoop it behind your armpit. And then you're gonna swing it all the way around and over the head. Bring it outer edge back into your heart. Back around, past your armpit, and then swing it up over the head. And then once you get the hang of it on that side, you're gonna start to increase the rate. You know, depending on which dominant side you have, one can be a little more difficult than the other. Navel hugs the back body, so you're stable in your hips and base as you move. And then let that go for a minute. And we'll just really challenge you now by doing both hands at the same time. So outside edges of the hands come into the heart. You gotta cross your wrists, take them underneath your armpits, cross them over you to swing them over your head, and bring the outer edge of the hand back into the heart. Cross under the armpits, cross over the head, and back into the heart. Cross under armpits, cross overhead, and then go as fast as you can. As you start to allow the body to go, you don't have to think about it. The more you think about what you're trying to do, then the harder it is. Again, you can feel all that beautiful stretching for the chest, the shoulders, upper back, neck, all the areas we tend to hold so much tension in. Just a few more. And then let it go. Stand for a minute and feel. If you'd like, you can even close your eyes to draw a little more sensitivity into the arms, shoulders, upper back area. But can you take an inhale in and feel inspiration, lightness, movement towards expansion, towards growth? Okay, so we're going to move into a back bend here. If you have your strap handy, that might be helpful. You can do it without the strap. It's just a little bit More challenging, but definitely possible to modify. We're going to start first with our hands on our hips, put the weight into the left foot, and just bend the right knee, grab onto the top of that foot with a hand, and then draw the heel to the glute. So you can just stay here in this position, draw the inner thighs towards one another. If you've got a little more flexibility, you can reach back and hold the foot with both hands. And you want to externally rotate your shoulders a little more by letting your sternum come forward. And keep squeezing that heel to the glute. Now, can you lengthen your tailbone down towards the earth? Lift your lower belly. And if you want to feel the stretch here a little bit more in the belly of the right thigh, rather than in the hip flexor on the top. And send your breath there. What's tight? What needs to release? And then gently release and let go. Shake your feet out if you need to. And you can do the other side now. I'm going to bend the left knee. Let your right hand go onto your right waist. Grab that foot and then draw the inner thighs back toward another. And just finding your balance sometimes is challenging, so we can just stay there. If and when you have the flexibility, you can grab onto the top of the foot with both hands. Then you can externally rotate the shoulders a little bit further back behind you. Heart sternum comes forward. Make sure the navel hugs the back body. And lengthen your tailbone down towards the floor. Try to get the sensation more in the belly of the left thigh. Breathe into that sensation. Good, one more. And then gently release. Take a moment, stretch out your feet. Okay, so there's two ways to do Natarajasana dancer's pose. One requires the strap and the other one doesn't. There's some people that can do it without the strap, but that takes quite a bit of flexibility. So the option if you don't have a strap with you is to put weight into your left foot. You're going to grab onto the inner right foot with your right hand, palm facing up. Now, a lot of times when I see people do Natarajasana, they bend from their waist, and that's actually not what we're supposed to do for this pose. The left arm reaches up. You can push the foot back into the hand, but when you keep the upper back or the upper body upright, then what we do is we actually feel more of the back bend where we want it. As soon as we start bending, we actually take ourselves out of the back bend. So you want to get that chest to expand. Maybe here you can feel as you push the foot into the hand, there's a stretch for the right shoulder. Okay? And then, of course, just to demo, we'll do the other side. So again, you're grabbing the inner left foot with the palm facing up, and then you're going to keep that right arm up, reaching over the head. And you activate that leg, so you're pushing the foot into the hand. You feel a nice shoulder stretch there as you do it. You want the heart open. Feel the back bend. Feel like you're moving towards inspiration. And then go ahead and release. Take a moment. So that's the first option, and you can do that again on the second side if you'd like. Or to go into more of a traditional variation, we have to use the strap because most of us can't bind the foot with our hands. So the top of the strap goes onto, or the foot goes onto the top of the strap, and you're going to bring the arms around like a jump rope. So you circle them all the way around and back. And now once you get into position, your hips stay relatively square here. You're going to hold on and start to walk your hands down the strap as best you can. Now you're still engaging that leg, and that upper body is still upright. And you want to feel all this beautiful opening for the upper back. Anchor into the feet. Feel the heart lifting. All that stability in the core you worked on. Breathe into it. One more. And then gently release the strap. If you need to, shake out the feet. Take a moment to settle. Let that prana settle. It's an intense pose. So if you can imagine how much more intense, when you get to the peak of it, you're really holding the foot with your hands. And then eventually you bring the foot to touch the back of your head. So it can get pretty crazy. All right, let's do the other side. Top of your left foot into the strap. Jump rope the arms around. Once you get your hands in position, you're walking them down both straps together. As much of a bind as you can make with your flexibility. Then you're going to start to push that foot into the strap. Feel the sternum come forward. Root down firmly through your supporting leg. Feel that pelvic floor lifting, core lifting, all that supporting the expansion, the growth of the upper body. Take a deep inhale. Really bring that air into the lungs. One more. And gently release. Take a moment. You can drop the strap. Find standing mountain pose. Settle the mind. Feel again that almost like when we did the shoulder work, that upflowing energy, the Pranavayu. Maybe even some Uddanavayu. One more here. Okay, we just want to take care of our backs. So bring the big toes to touch space between the heels. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, squeeze the inner thighs toward one another. Sink down into chair. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sink into chair. You can feel that stretch for the low back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Two more. Inhale, reach up. Now exhale, forward fold, but be mindful as you forward fold. So really lengthen the spine as you come down. You can keep a micro bend in your knee if you need to. Inhale, monkey pose. Hands on the shin or floor, but flat back. Lift the hips high. Exhale, you're going to step back to plank position. Again, hover in plank for an extra breath so you really feel your core stability there. And then just bring your knees to the floor. Sit tall on your heels. Left hand under the belly, right hand on top. Thumbs touch. Sit with that tall spine, relaxed body. And for men, it's the opposite position for the hands. Now take that tailbone deeply in towards the body. Feel the navel draw back so you're narrowing the waist. Heart is lifted, sternum lifted, shoulders soft. One more breath here. All right, so we're going to bring our hips to one side, legs out in front of us. Start in Dandasana staff, so internally rotate your thighs, in and down. Hands beside the hips, press down into the hands. Sit as tall as you can. Feel your core strength here. Pull back on the pinky toe sides of your feet. Engage your quads. Feel as if you don't need the hands at all, but instead you're pushing down so you stretch the backs of the arms. You depress the tops of the shoulders. Lift through the back of the skull, crown of the head. Good. And then we're just going to bend our right knee and bring that foot towards the inner thigh of your left leg. Hold your shin bone, that same feeling you had a moment ago in Dandasana, flat back. And then you can wrap your left arm around your leg. You're going to lean back with your chest so you can kind of clear the belly out of the way. And then use your core strength to pull the chest forward towards the thigh again. Right hand's just like a kickstand behind you. And gaze over your right shoulder when you feel ready. But as much as you have that kickstand, keep using your core pulling towards your thigh to keep your spine straight. And then because the belly gets cleared out of the way, there's a little bit more room for rotation. Find your breath. Good. That deep inspiration, that deep inhale. Don't shorten it. And then you're going to turn your gaze over your left shoulder for just a moment. Then hold your shin bone and use your core strength to sit tall. And we'll straighten the leg. Find Dandasana again. So that height through the spine, length through the waist. And we'll do the other side. So left foot comes in. Hold the shin bone. Again, use your core to do that. Keep your right leg firm. And now right arm's going to wrap around left knee. You can lean back to clear the belly out of the way. And then once you get that twist, use your core strength to pull yourself closer to the thigh. And then navel and gaze rotates to the left. Breathe here. And just see how much unwinding you can do. Some of it's done through working with the breath. Some of it's done simply through letting go. Good. One more full breath here. Really twist. And then you'll take your gaze over your right shoulder and then slowly unwind. Hold your shin bones, sit tall. Use that core strength. And then extend the left leg, Dandasana staff. Pull back the pinky toe sides of your feet. And then we'll come down onto our backs. Have a block handy nearby. Start with your knees into your chest. Settling here for just a moment on the back. Feel that release. Tailbone away from crown. And we're going to do a little variation of breathing in our bridge pose here. So see if you can lightly touch your heels with your fingertips. Feet will be about hip distance apart, knees bent. You're going to anchor down into the feet and roll up through your spine, one vertebrae at a time. And then exhale, and you're going to slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time. Navel hugging the back body as you release. Let's do that again. Inhale, roll up. Expand through the chest. Exhale. Slowly come down. Inhale slowly up. And exhale slowly down. So if you'd like, you can just continue with that. If you would like to challenge, we're going to do some breathing with retention. So inhale, roll up through the spine. Stay here lifted and exhale all the breath out. Now when you're empty, hold the breath out. Don't breathe in and slowly come back down, really articulating each bone into the mat with the breath still held out. And then when you get to the bottom, inhale, exhale. Take a recovery breath. Let's do that again. Inhale, roll up. Stay lifted, exhale all the breath out. Keep the breath held out. Don't breathe in. As you slowly come down, use that emptiness as a suction to pull the pelvic floor and core more deeply in and up as you slowly release. And then when you get to the bottom and everything relaxes, take an inhale, exhale, recovery breath. Good. We'll just do one more together, then on your own, inhale, roll up. Exhale, empty completely. Keep the breath held out as you come down. Three more, please. If you don't need that recovery breath, you don't have to take it. One more. When you get to the bottom, you can just relax and widen your feet and let your knees fall into the midline. And then a couple options here. You can extend your legs straight up in the air and flex your feet. In many ways, this is similar to be moving towards Dandasana or forward fold. And you can clasp the hands around the calves, or you can hook the index middle thumb around your big toe. And you can pull your tailbone away from the crown of your head and bring the legs as close to the body as possible. So you can just start here. This creates some of that flexibility. Make sure the pinky toes pull back towards the body. And navel hugs the back of the spine, so you have core support here. Even though you've got the support of the earth, you want to use your core. The other option is to come into Viparita Karani Mudra variation. So pressing into both feet, you come back up into bridge on the balls of the feet and slide the block underneath your sacrum. Ideally, you want it on the tallest edge, but if you can just do middle or low, that's fine. And then you're going to extend your legs straight up into the air. So this has some of the elements of Viparita Karani Mudra. If you want to make it a little bit more traditional, let your hands be on your hips as if you're holding your legs up. And what I like about this, we get the benefit of the inversion without any of the pressure on the neck. So we're just going to stay here and breathe that same breath we were working the whole time. Smooth. Inhale, exhale. Even. And concentrating on reducing or eliminating any of those jumps or catches in the breath or pauses. And the reason this is called Viparita Karani Mudra is because it's a body mudra. And a body mudra is very much like creating a circuit. So the placement of the hands and the position of the body, you can think of it almost like a circular circuit and see the breath flow in the same type of way. Good, just a few more. And really, when you're practicing on your own, you want to be able to stay for at least 20 breaths or 3 to 5 minutes to start. You work your way up to about 20 minutes if you'd like. Okay, last one. And then no matter which position you're in, if you were in Viparita Karani, slowly bring your legs down into the bridge pose. If you had your hands clasped around your calves or your toes, you can just bend your knees into your chest. If you were in bridge, rise onto the balls of the feet, slide the block out, and one vertebrae at a time, slowly melt the spine back down into the mat. And then we'll all take our feet wide, knees bent, knees falling into the midline, and just rest again. So even if you were in that first variation, you still have the blood draining from the feet back towards the heart, flooding the heart and the brain, and you're getting some of that inversion benefit. Good. From this position, just start to slide your legs out to they're a little bit further away from your hips, like they instead of for what we had for bridge pose. And then we're going to keep the knees wide, knees bent, and then take them to the left and take them to the right, and treat them like windshield wipers, just going back and forth, just bringing a little bit of a twist into the legs and the hips, just to make sure there's no tension there at all. And then as you do this, you can slowly start to wiggle your toes away an inch or two. Really stay heavy through your glutes. Inch away again. And slowly stay heavy. Eventually, you're going to wiggle your feet so that there's not much sensation left from the twist, and you can just let the legs extend all the way to the floor. If you have an eye pillow and you're in a lighted room, use some sort of light piece of material to cover the eyes. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Let your heart feel open, all that work that we've done, palms faces up. And then feet are a little wider than hip distance, and the toes just roll out to the side. Take a moment to tap into the curves of the spine. So starting at the sacrum, the curve going in towards the floor, and the lower back curve of pulling away from the floor, and the thoracic curve pressing slightly into the floor, and finally the cervical curve pulling away from the floor, and the back of the head grounding just like the sacrum. And feel completely held and supported as you relax. Let go of the breath and just be. So very slowly begin to deepen your breath. And as the breath comes back in, feel it enliven. That inspiration drawing us towards movement and action in the world. So as it makes its way to your fingers and your toes, begin to wiggle them with that inspiration. And you can roll wrists and ankles. And without rushing, gently draw your knees into your chest. Take a moment there to just feel the spine completely supported. And then roll to your right side into fetal position. Just rest for a moment, arm under the head as a pillow. And then eventually place the hand into the earth, come back up into seated, head and neck heavy, eyes closed as you come up. And we'll sit with a tall spine, relaxed body for just a few moments of pranayama. So we're going to mindfully increase the inhalation. Now, this is not a breath that is typically recommended to just perform on a regular basis. But with a calm and stable mind and the conditions we've created in this class, this is okay for today's practice. Okay, so on your next inhale, breathe in for a count of 4. And breathe out for a count of 4. Same pattern we started with, inhaling, chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor. And exhaling, pelvic floor, belly, ribs, chest. Now, a 4-4 count might be a little quick for you, but just create the stability in it, and we're going to slowly grow that breath. Now, on your next inhale, can you inhale for 5, but exhale for 4? You can use the ujjayi sound as you do this. You may notice that it feels as if the inhale comes fairly quickly at the bottom of the exhale. One more round. And then if it's comfortable, extend a 6-count inhalation, 4-count exhale. Keep going. Remember, it's very important that you maintain the pattern of breathing that we've started. So from the top down on inhalation and from the bottom up on exhalation. And if you want to grow it to 7-4, go ahead. Feeling the body perhaps getting lighter, but make sure we don't feel the head getting lighter. Keep the chin drawn in for Jalandhara Bandha. If you want to stretch it to 8-4, go ahead. Now, if you're comfortable at 8-4, you can bring a soft pause of 2 counts into the top of the breath. So you'll breathe in for 8. Pause 2 and hold that prana in the chest, seeing it swirling around the heart. Exhale for 4. And repeat. If you like, you can grow that pause by 1 count. So you'd breathe in for 8, pause for 3, exhale for 4, no pause. While you're containing the prana in the heart, seeing it swirling around, make sure the chin is staying drawn in so we're not bringing it up into the head. And even keep a little lift in the pelvic floor to contain it in the torso. Two more rounds. If you want, go to 8-4-4. And then we'll go backwards, so we'll go to 6-3-4. Inhale for 6, pause for 3, exhale for 4. Repeat that. And then if you'd like, you can go 4-2-4. And then work your way towards 4-4, no pauses, just smooth circular breathing again, but even and balanced. And then relax all effort, so have an effortless breath. And just feel perhaps a sense of spaciousness or lightness in the chest and upper back. That feeling of inspiration or the ability to move towards greater expansion and growth. And bring your hands to your heart. Let your thumbs touch your sternum, bow your head. Go back to the intention we set, trusting that you received what you could receive. You're letting the rest go. And we'll seal the practice with a chant of Om 1 time. So take a deep inhale in. And then take a long exhale out. Another deep inhale in. Om. Namaste.